this morning. It's chilly. Grab a coat as you head out. Look at this. It's 38 in Gainesville. It's 39 in Decatur. Same thing in Denton. So some locations dropping into the 30s this morning across DFW. 40. So this is cooler than it was yesterday morning. Not by much, but still keep that in mind. Sunshine will prevail across the entire North Texas region and will stay that way as we head into the weekend. Temperatures by noon 59 degrees, topping out right around the mid 60s later on. We have a lot to talk about as we head into the weekend. We'll have more on that coming up, but let's go ahead and check in with them. Yeah, so we're going to have some breezy conditions through the morning, but then later on this afternoon into the evening it gets a lot better. So let's go ahead and look live out there in downtown Dallas. It's 43 degrees. Big story as you head out the door this morning is going to be the fact that you need to grab that coat because we have temperatures dropping into the 30s and lower 40s. Good news is you'll be able to ditch it later on because it's going to be fantastic. Mid 60s as we go into the afternoon hours. 65 in Dallas, 64 in Fort Worth, 65 in Terrell, 64 in Decatur. So everyone pretty much right around the same temperature. That continues to climb as we go into the weekend. Here's a quick look at your weekend forecast. Fantastic. 68 on Saturday, which is the first day of spring. And as we go into Sunday, temperatures warm even more, 72. The difference between Saturday and Sunday is going to be an increase in cloud cover as we go into the day on Sunday. That is going to be ahead of our next rainmaker that's going to move in as we head into next week. What's happening here is high pressure is going to slide off to the east. It's going to put us in a southeasterly wind, which will bring in some warmer air. And then as we go into next week, we are going to see this storm system that's going to push through. It's going to be one of two separate storms that are going to plunge in here. So rain chances will go up. They're going to increase. Right now, Kara, the severe threat is low at this time, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Okay, good news. Thanks, Kalee. So less wind. Do we have a good weekend coming up?
We have a fantastic weekend, and we're going to get right to it here as we move forward into the weekend. Temperatures are going to warm back up. We were cool yesterday, and when you factored in the wind, it wasn't great. So if we look at what's going on jacket for very long, but you'll need it this morning. I mean, it's 42 in Dallas, but many locations around DFW are dropping into the 30s. Here's a look at the winds. Not quite as bad. Sustained winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, but the gusts are still going to be up closer to 20. So your wind gust forecast throughout the day right around 20. Nothing like what we dealt with Wednesday or Thursday, but still keep in mind secure loose outdoor items and please avoid any outdoor burning. Anything could just really ignite a fire and spread with it being as dry as it is, even with a breeze of 20 to 25 miles per hour. If you look here at our temperatures, they're going to stay right around 62 in Stephenville today, 64 in Mineral Wells, 65 in McKinney, 64 in Sulphur Springs. Each day it's going to climb. Look at that Saturday, 68 degrees. That's actually still considered below normal by a degree because our normal is 69 Saturday, jumps up to 70 as we go into Sunday. It's going to stay right about 70 degrees as we go into the beginning of next week, but next week brings a chance for rain, so we are going to see those temperatures go back down as that rain moves in. But right now, if you look at satellite and radar, everything is clear out there. Here's a look at that 10-day forecast. You can see what I'm talking about with the rain. It's really going to go up Monday night into Tuesday. There's some discrepancy in the model still several days out, so we'll keep an eye on it at this point. Looks like another storm system for Wednesday into Thursday before we dry up for next weekend. We'll have more details on this and just how much rain we could see coming up, but let's check on the roadways. Lauren?
Yes. And you're already jamming out. Well, she's going on vacation next week. She is all sorts of chipper. Let's go over to Kalee right now in the Weather Center with what's happening this weekend.
Well, I know spring break's coming to an end for many, but the weekend to wrap it up is going to be fantastic. So that's what we're going to focus. It's going to be a little breezy out there, nothing like Wednesday and Thursday, but it does die down as we go into the evening hours tonight, so it gets a lot better. A warming trend as we head into the weekend, but enjoy the weekend because several chances for rain as we go into next week. But the good news is we need that rainfall, so we're welcoming that, and at least it's not falling on the weekend. Here's a look at the temperatures out there. 38 degrees in Gainesville, Stephenville at 39. We've got 38 in Hillsborough as well, so several locations in the 30s. Hour by hour as we move forward through the rest of the day, expect temperatures to warm up into the 50s by lunch hour and then 60s by the time we reach the high temperature today, 65 with plenty of sunshine. We're going to take a look at that weekend forecast and of course that chance for rain. It's all coming up, but let's check in with Lauren. Good morning.
Still a little bit windy.
Yeah, we're talking about 10 to 20 mile per hour wind gusts.
That's better.
It's better than what we had, but it's still breezy. It will continue to be that way through much of the day and then it'll calm down. Here's a look at our temperatures out there. Frisco, it's 43, Plano 41, 42 in Mesquite, 40 in Anna. Over in Weatherford, it's about 38. Fort Worth sitting at 40. degrees. Let's widen it out. Check out our dog walk forecast for today. I'm going to say green, go ahead and grab the leash, but make sure you dress appropriately because it is chilly out there this morning. So you need to make sure you have that coat on as you head out, but it's still a beautiful morning to do that. If you want to wait until later when it starts to warm up, it will warm up rapidly as we see that sun come out a little bit later. 64 degrees for the afternoon high temperature in Fort Worth, 65 in Dallas, 64 in Gainesville, 62 in Archer City. Now we are going to stay dry through the weekend, but I wanted to give you a quick look at next week. We are going to see several days of rainfall. Monday, 30% in coverage, mainly in the afternoon and evening, going up to 60% overnight, which you don't see here, and then 20% coverage as we go into Tuesday. A separate storm system looks to arrive as we go into Wednesday, and that'll be around through Thursday. So that's going to give us quite a bit of rainfall. Coming up in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I will show you our rainfall forecast for next week and what we could expect here in DFW. Lauren? All right, to the end of the weekend, we have a great forecast for the weekend. It's going to be fantastic. But once we get into the evening hours, it'll be nice and calm, and it will be that way as we go into Saturday and Sunday as well. Here's a look at our temperature. It's 42 degrees. Dew points are low as well, so keep that in mind. Try to avoid any outdoor burning. 65 degrees in Dallas, 65 in Corsicana. It's going to be 64 today in Paris. That's going to be the high temperatures that we top out today. And look, we just continue to climb. We're not going to be extremely warm. We're going to be right where we should be for the first weekend of spring. So expect 68 degrees. Spring equinoxes on Saturday. We've got 72 degrees as we go into Sunday, and then we'll stay in the lower 70s as we go into the beginning of next week. The pattern is going to be like this. We have high pressure over the top of us. It slides off to the east going into the weekend. So you see that the arrows are going to be pushed from the southeast. That's going to bring in that warmer air and that moisture. Quickly, we're going to see an area of low pressure that's going to slide in here for the beginning of the week. This is going to be the first chance of 2 chances of rainfall back to back. So you can see these dips in the jet stream that will allow these systems to kind of move in here. So rain chances are going to increase, which is good news. Severe threat is low at this time, but we do need the rain. Let's check in on that drought monitor. You can see we are at a moderate to severe drought for Dallas, Fort Worth, and much of North Texas. If we wind it out even more, you go up toward the Panhandle into West Texas, and extreme to exceptional drought ongoing there. So we could use the rain. If we look at the rainfall forecast and widen it out for the entire state, the spots that really need it really aren't going to see much. But if you look off to DFW, ½ inch to an inch, and an inch or more as we look at the Louisiana-Texas state line. Here's a quick look at that 10-day forecast. You can see no big drops in temperature, though, despite the rain. We just stay right around where we should be, Lauren.
All right. That sounds good. For filling out your bracket. This morning you started it?
Yeah, I just finished it a few minutes ago.
Okay.
I actually have UNT going a couple of different rounds, so I'm pulling for you guys. I also have Texas Tech and Texas all doing really great as well, so I don't have them winning the whole thing, though. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Oh, walk away before it's time for me to walk away, so I apologize, guys. All right, here's a look at our radar. Nothing on radar. We do have a little bit of cloud cover in northeastern parts of Texas. Otherwise, it's a completely clear start to the day, which has allowed our temperatures to drop. Plus those winds, yeah, they're still going to be breezy, but nothing quite what we've been dealing with the last few days. So temperatures have dropped into the upper 30s to lower 40s. Here's a look. Ooh, Fort Worth, you followed. 34 degrees, 38 in Mineral Wells, 35 in Bowie this morning, 40 though in Sherman, I should say, 41 in McKinney, 44 in Dallas. Hour by hour as we move forward through the rest of the day today, expect a beautiful afternoon. So yes, you might need the coat as you head out this morning. You won't need it for very long though, as temperatures will top out in the mid 60s. Gets warmer for the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up. Lauren?
Cool when you're stepping out. You definitely need a light jacket.
Yeah, look at these temperatures. 35 in Chico right now, 39 in Sanger, 40 in Alliance, 39 in Fort Worth. It's a little bit warmer in some locations like Richardson at 43, Mesquite 41, 44 in Dallas. But as we go into the afternoon, it's going to be so comfortable, just getting a little bit closer to normal. If you look up here, normal 69 degrees. Record was 95. We're going to be about 30 degrees cooler than that today at 65 degrees. So just slightly below where we should be. We'll get there as we go into the weekend. This is a picture perfect first weekend of spring as temperatures are 68 degrees as we go into Saturday, 72 as we go into Sunday. We are going to see a little bit more cloud cover as we go into Sunday afternoon and evening. That is because of southeasterly winds that are going to pump in some moisture and some cloud cover, and that's going to be ahead of our next storm system. Now that doesn't move in until we get into Monday, but rain coverage goes up Monday night into Tuesday. 30% in coverage Monday, going to 20% on Tuesday, but Monday night into Tuesday, 60% coverage. So that's the main time frame there. A second separate storm system potentially moving in as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. At this point for DFW, it looks like about 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch. So much lower than yesterday. As I said yesterday, when I show you these rainfall forecasts, they are going to change. This will change many more times before we get there. Lauren?
All right, thank you. This morning, a little less windy.
Yeah, we're making progress at this point. It is cooler though. Temperatures are in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Currently at DFW Airport, it's to 42 degrees. But we see that wind sustained at about 13 miles per hour. Yesterday, it was sustained at about 15 to 20. So again, progress. 5 to 10 mile per hour winds out there right now. We are going to see wind gusts up to 20 as we go through the day today. If you look here at the hour by hour here as we move forward, you can see wind gusts 20, 21, 20, 21, kind of bouncing around there. So again, loose items. It's not as big of a deal today, but it is still going to be a bit breezy. Plus, I mean, we have some very tender vegetation with those dew points in the 30s. Any little bit of a flame can ignite fire and spread. So please be careful with that from DFW to the west, especially with these northeast winds today. Here's a look at our temperatures this afternoon. 63 in Waxahachie, 65 in Corsicana. What about you in Graham? 62 degrees, 64 in Sherman, same thing in Paris. And then we continue to climb as we head into the weekend. It's going to be fantastic. We have temperatures in the upper 60s on Saturday, lower 70s on Sunday. We are going to stay dry through the weekend. High pressure right over the top of us. We see a few clouds here in the eastern part of the state, but we will continue to clear those out. Stay dry, but look at this for next week. We're going to look at this in more detail coming up in the next half hour, but let's check in with Lauren. Good morning.
Good morning today. I'm Kara Sewell, and we've got all ladies this morning here at Victory Park. So Mark, Tashara, Greg are off today, and we've got Lauren and Kalee with us. We're going to start with Kalee to talk about the forecast this weekend, and you know, we're looking pretty good this morning.
Oh, it is going to be fantastic. I mean, you really can't complain unless you're Ariel, who sent me a tweet, and she says, normally I'm team sunshine, but I really want some rain so I can use it as an excuse to watch the games all weekend.
We're never happy.
I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there that agree with her as well, but I really can't fulfill that request because, I mean, our sunshine forecast is through the roof this weekend. Let's start with what's going on. It's the last few days, so we're making progress, but still, we're gonna deal with a little bit of a breeze. Warming trend as we head into the weekend, and then we're gonna be talking about an unsettled weather pattern that returns next week, what that means for us in regards to rain, timing, and everything. We'll have all that coming up as well. But first, 37 degrees in Breckenridge to head out the door, 39 in Fort Worth. We've got 41 in Waxahachie, 39 in Palestine, 43 in Mejia this morning. Hour by hour as we move forward, expect those temperatures to warm up to 59 degrees by noon, 65 by the time we reach our high temperature for today. And look, already starting to see those winds calm down, north winds 10 to 15. Then they'll switch to out of the east tonight. It's going to calm. We'll see another chilly start tomorrow morning because of the fact that we're going to be clear and calm. But we'll get into all that and the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren?
Let's talk to Kalee right now about the forecast headed into the weekend.
Yeah.
All good things unless you want to sit on the couch all weekend and watch basketball.
I know. And then, well, maybe you could bring your TV out onto the patio.
There you go.
And just sit outside to kind of enjoy it. You can do both, you know, enjoy the outside, but also watch the basketball. 41 degrees in downtown Dallas right now. It's a gorgeous shot there. If you look at our satellite and radar, nothing on radar. We do have a little bit of cloud cover out there right now, but you can see it's only for the far eastern parts of North Texas. If we look at the rain coverage, it goes up next week. No rain chance this weekend. It's sunny. It's clear. It's going to be fantastic. But Monday night into Tuesday, that rain chance goes up. 30% in coverage during the afternoon and evening, 60% in coverage overnight, which you don't see there, dropping to 20% on Tuesday. Another storm system moving in Wednesday. So overall for next week, rainfall forecast right now looks like about 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch of rainfall for DFW. Farther east you go, 1/2 inch to an inch. We do need the rainfall. If we look at our rainfall update for DFW this month, we've had about 1.3 inches of rain. So that's considered below normal for March. This year we've had just over just under 4.4 inches, and that's below normal as well, almost 2.5 inches of rain, because March is normally our 4th wettest month of the year. So now as we move forward into next week and seeing all that several chances for rain, maybe we can make up for some of our loss so far. Let's go ahead and check in with Lauren. Good morning. I second that 1,000%. I mean,
believe that when she said that, I was like,
yeah, looks amazing. So what time was that class again? 9:30? 9? Okay, we all got to get on top of that. All right, let's go ahead and look at that forecast. You could maybe keep it inside. You know, I mean, unless you're a runner, and this is perfect for you if you're doing a long run. 42 degrees out there right now with the northwest wind at about 13 miles per hour. This afternoon, here's what it looks like. We've got low to mid 60s across the board, and temps continue to climb as we go into the weekend. We've got 68 degrees as we go into Saturday, 72 on Sunday, and then staying in the 70s through the beginning of next week. This is exactly what our weather should be for the spring equinox. We have high pressure today. It's going to slide off to the east as we go into the weekend. That's why you're going to see that warming trend. But look at this, an area of low pressure spinning in as we go into the beginning of next week. And that's going to be the first of two storm systems because we have the dip in the jet stream. So it's going to allow several different storm systems to move in here. So that's going to increase our rain chances as we go into next week. As of right now, any severe threat is low, but we're still several days out, so we're going to watch it. But we are going to get some much needed rainfall. Here's a look at our drought monitor for just DFW. You can see that we have a moderate drought for the eastern edge and then a severe drought developing for the western spots, including Tarrant County, going up into Weiss County and Jack County. So you can see that there. Most of North Texas is in the moderate to severe, and then as you get a little bit farther to the west, that's where things get really sticky. But they don't have any really good rain chances in the future for them either. It's a very light, a trace to 1/10 of an inch, a 1/2 inch to an inch for spots from DFW to East Texas, an inch or more for spots along the Louisiana and Texas state line. So that's for next week. Quick look at that 10-day forecast. Here's where we're looking at for that rainfall. Dry as we go into next weekend, dry for this weekend. So it's like bookends with beautiful weather. Lauren?
Plans. The only question, will I be watching on my patio with my laptop or inside? Kalee, can you answer that question?
And I have my boots on today as well.
It's the last run.
You got to do it. You have to. You have to rock it. But patio, bring the TV outside. I was telling everybody with March Madness too, and the benefit that's going on. You don't want to not be a part of those things, but you want to make sure you're outside because it is fantastic. I mean, it is a cool, chilly morning. You need a jacket. It's a layers kind of day. Live in Weatherford. What a gorgeous start there. Here's a look in downtown Dallas. It's 46 degrees with blue skies. We did have several locations drop into the 30s. There's only a few left. Bowie at 39, Eastland at 37. The rest of us are starting to warm up, and that warming trend will continue not only throughout the day today, but also into the weekend. So if you look, 65 degrees at 4 o'clock. Winds also calm down as we go into the overnight hours and into Saturday. Here you go. Here's a look at our weekend forecast. Fantastic. 68 degrees on Sunday or Saturday. Then we warm up to the low 70s on Sunday. The difference between Saturday and Sunday is going to be the little bit more cloud cover as we go into Sunday. But overall, it's going to be fantastic. It's also going to be dry. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Nothing on radar. A few clouds and for eastern portions of the viewing area. Now that changes. Our narrative changes next week, guys. I wanted to make sure you're aware of this. But we do have a chance for rain pretty much every day next week. The best time frame is going to be Monday night into Tuesday. Jane?
That sounds wonderful, Kalee. Okay.
And yeah, I guess it is. Wow, spring break kind of came and went.
It's amazing how fast it goes. But at least the last weekend, you can soak up as much time outside, maybe going to different parts of the area that you haven't been to yet.
Sure.
You can enjoy it because it is beautiful. Starting with today, we've got 55 degrees out there right now at Dallas Baptist University. A few clouds out there, but plenty of sun. Same thing in downtown Dallas. It's 53 at this point, and we're going to see those temperatures climb. 51 degrees in Fort Worth, 50 in Waxahachie. Same thing in Sherman, 48 in Neola. And if you look at the hour by hour, jumping up into the upper 50s in the next hour or so, and then mid 60s for high temperatures as we go into the afternoon. And here's a look at that weekend forecast. First day of spring is going to be fantastic, 68 degrees. Then we're going to warm up into the lower 70s. We'll see a little bit more cloud cover as we go into the day on Sunday, but still both days are going to be dry. Both days are going to be calm. We are going to see rain chances, though, go up as we go into next week. We'll touch on that in more detail coming up.
All right, Kalee got a great night's sleep last night, y'all.
I implemented some mindful
meditation techniques. They really work. Hey, you did sleep though, seriously.
I did, and what was crazy is I kept, which you told me not to do this anymore, and I'm not going to, but I kept saying this isn't working, this isn't working. But then I woke up and my alarm went off, and I didn't even remember.
I do not give you bad advice.
No, you do not. And I was like, I can't wait to tell her this because it actually worked. And now I'm going to change my attitude, and things are going to be better. But we also have a great forecast to help with the change of attitude. 53 degrees. Here's a live look at Love Field. It is clear out there. There's a few clouds, but overall it's mostly sunny. 52 DFW Airport with north-northeast winds. Still a bit on the breezy side. It's not windy. It's not going to be crazy, but there is a breeze. 16 gusting up to 20 to 25. Here's a look at the other sustained winds out there right now. 14 miles per hour in Fort Worth, 16 in Denton, 12 in Decatur. So what's the wind gust forecast for today? You want the good news? Look at this. A number doesn't even register later on tonight because it's calming down. So just wait until we get into the evening. Winds will calm down, but until then, it's still going to be breezy. It's still very dry, so make sure you follow fire prevention rules because of that elevated fire danger, mainly from DFW to the west. If you look at the temperatures today, topping out right around the mid-60s. It's still considered below normal, but it's warming up from where we were yesterday, and that warming trend will ramp up as we go into the weekend as well. Right about normal. For the first day of spring, I mean, you really couldn't ask for a more spring-like day. 72 degrees as we go into Sunday, staying in the lower 70s as we go into the beginning of next week before we cool down back below normal. That's all because of a storm system that's going to be moving in. So here's what our weather pattern looks like through next weekend. High pressure over us now. It'll slide to the east. That's when we're going to see that big warm up. But then we're going to have this area of low pressure moving as we go into the beginning of the week. There's a big dip in the jet stream that's going to be there most of next week. So that's the first of two storms we have to watch as we go into the middle and end of next week. This guy will come down from the north. So here's our main topics of conversation. Warming trend, but dry through the weekend, but rain chances increase next week. As of right now, the severe threat is low, but still this is several days out. So you're going to want to come back and pay more attention. But the good news is we're going to get some rain. We need any little bit of rainfall that we can. Look at the drought monitor right now for DFW. So severe drought for locations from Fort Worth up to Decatur, and then a moderate drought elsewhere. If you look here at all of North Texas, it starts to get worse as you go to the north and west. Coming up in the next half hour, I will talk more about how much rain we could see next week. But let's go back over that forecast for today, which is sunny and cool as temperatures top out in the mid-60s. We've got 43 degrees as we go into the overnight hours tonight. Winds are going to calm down. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, switching to the east later on in the evening. Now, if you look at the 10-day forecast, you can see what I'm talking about next week. Overall, it's going to be most of next week that we're going to see this chance for rain. Then going into next weekend, it's kind of like nice bookends where you're going to have nice weather this weekend, nice weather as we go into the next weekend. I did put 10% in coverage for the chance for rain as we go into next Sunday. So far, I'd expect that to change. Don't really focus on that. Otherwise, I just hope that you get outside at some point. I know there's a lot of basketball games on, but enjoy the weather if you can, Sonia.
All right, Kalee, thank you. Introducing you anyway. This is your time to shine.
I have a thing about whales. Like, I'm all about loving the animals and water animals, so I want no harm done, but they're just so big and there's so many of them, it freaks me out.
My only whale story, I went whale watching in Alaska once, but my only other whale story, I used to work in San Diego and I covered beached whales.
Okay, how close did you get?
Closer than we are right now. We were not social distancing. Let's put it that way. And it was sad.
Do you know that they have hearts the size of like BMW cars?
I did not know that.
Okay, that's what freaks me out. Tongues weigh the size of elephants. These are all
How
kind
do
of
you know these things?
I don't know, because it weirds me out. Anyway, I don't have much time for weather. Luckily, I don't have much going on. We have a beautiful, beautiful day. Looking live in Cedar Hill, it's 51 degrees out there, clear skies. Temperatures out there 52 at DFW Airport. And we still have that breeze today, nothing like the last few days, but it's going to be a bit on the windy side. We've got 5 to 15 mile per hour winds. That's sustained winds, gusts up to 20, so it's better. At least it's not like 30 to 40 like it was earlier this week. And then look, it's not even registering at 10 o'clock because we're going to calm down. So just get through the afternoon. Winds will calm down tonight, but we do have elevated fire danger still today until we can get those winds to calm down just a little bit more. So let's talk temperatures. Temperatures going to stay slightly below normal as we go into the afternoon. 64 in Fort Worth, 63 in Waxahachie, Bowie at 63, 64 in Greenville. But they're going to continue to climb. So we're going to see our temperatures right where they should be as we go into the first weekend of spring. And really, it's a very spring-like stretch of weather we have moving into next week as well. And we have that chance for rain. So we looked at the drought monitor earlier. I wanted to show you, this is just for DFW, the coverage as we go into next week. Monday, 30% in coverage. This is mainly going to be after about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Overnight into early Tuesday is going to be the highest coverage, so 60%, which you don't see on here. 20% going into Tuesday. Another separate storm system moving in for Wednesday, Thursday. Watch these coverages kind of go up and down, but right now 40% in coverage Wednesday, 20 as it moves out on Thursday. So how much rain could we see out of this? You're going to see this fluctuate. I mean, we even saw a huge fluctuation just between yesterday and today because, I mean, this is several days out still. But next week as a whole, a 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch of rainfall. For East Texas, anywhere from about a 1/2 inch to an inch. There may be a few locations that get just above an inch. But yesterday, we had about 1 inch to 2 inches here in Dallas-Fort Worth. So you see how much of a fluctuation that is. So keep watching this. In regards to severe weather, the severe weather threat's going to be low as we go into next week, but we do need this rainfall. Let's check in on our rainfall that we've seen so far this month. 1.3 inches of rain. That's below normal for the month of March. Where are we for the year? We're just over about 4.3 inches, and that's 2.5 below normal for the year. So we do need the rain. March is normally one of the 4th wettest months of the year, and we get several chances next week. So we'll see how much we end up with before it's all said and done. So today's forecast, 65 degrees, north winds 10 to 20 miles per hour as we go into tonight. Expect mostly clear skies, calm winds. It's really going to set us up for temperatures to fall. Many locations will be in the upper 30s to low 40s. I have us in the low 40s for DFW Airport. The farther out rural areas will be a little bit cooler than that. If you look here at the 10-day forecast, you see no big jumps in temperature. The coolest we're going to be next week will be 65 when we see that chance for rain move in as we go into Wednesday. If I step out